different perspective, but anyways. Hi everybody, how are you? Adri here. Oh my god, this is a very new perspective. Although I'm still getting used to looking at the camera because the camera is not right on the screen, but it's actually somewhere around here. Anyways. Um, yeah. Anyways, welcome today to our fourth episode of Mochi Mochi Yarns. I am so glad that you're actually being part of this podcast. Today we have some adventures that I want to take with you in this week, and one of my first adventures is that we're heading today to the supermarket. Now I know that on my previous podcast I have been I think the last two podcasts I have been showing a lot of food, but this time I am heading to the supermarket not to buy food for myself, but actually to buy a mystery box. It's not a mystery box, but I'm actually creating that box for a good friend of mine, internet friend of mine, which is Grace O'Neill from Vanna Villemel Instagram. And I just realized that I don't know if I am actually saying the name correctly. So anyways, you guys are going to accompany me, except you, Grace, if you're watching this and if your parcel has not arrived, you are banned of this until further notice, until you have opened your package and see what it's inside. But the rest of us, we're gonna head out and buy the stuff that I need to buy for Grace. I just came out from the supermarket, so we are heading right now to the post office, and we're gonna buy the little slip for sending the parcel, and at the same time we're gonna go and choose what type of box we are actually going to get. I have already packed and placed all the chocolates and inside there. I did not want to send Grace some wool or anything like that because I thought I don't know what she actually likes. So unfortunately I was I'm not sure what would she like to have, but chocolates is actually something that it's okay for me to send, as I feel very comfortable with my eating skills that I know that she is going to like the chocolates that I send her. So I am going to text Grace at the moment right now and tell her that her package is going to be there between 4 to 5 days. I think it's going to be 5 to 7 days. It's supposed to be working days, but we'll see. Cross your fingers that everything arrives properly. So I just finished actually doing exercises. I was doing some exercises for my leg for the day. I have a lot of stuff to do today. I have to go to the hairdressers. I have a lot of stuff that I have to block this time. I have finished the front and the back of this sweater that I am doing for the commission. I'm going to start working with the sleeves this time, but at the moment I am going to do this, so I'm going to block them today, and I'll show you a little bit of what are the things or the steps that I take to actually block my stuff. Also, with these two things, I am going to block this swatches that I have done. I'm going to talk to you about them a little bit afterwards. What I'm thinking is I am going to block them while I am taking a shower, and then I'm going to show you from these two swatches what wool did I use and what are my plans for this. Completely, this is not 100% full. I can still dip these things in my sink. And the reason why I do it this way, it's because it gives me at least a little bit of a space to actually, like, the fiber to actually expand a little bit. So this is not too warm but not too cold. I would call it maybe room temperature. So what I'll do is, oh, I forgot to actually sew the ends of this one. Well, anyways, I'm gonna block it regardless of that. So what I normally do is to actually just dump it like this, but try to actually give it still kind of like a form. And then slowly, with my hands, go into the water and just slowly drenching in it, because I don't want to actually shake it too much. I don't want to stress the fiber, because this wool is actually very delicate. It can actually felt very quickly if you rattle it a little bit too much, especially with the water that I'm using, which is a comfortable water temperature for my skin. So I don't want to create that much of stress for the garment. And then I am gonna do the front part, which we're gonna go with the same process that I did, which is putting it in like this on the sink, and then slowly but surely starting to sink the pieces. And because I am still blocking more stuff, I want to block this two things that I have, because I am working on a project for myself. One is in 6mm and one is on 6.5mm, and I want to block them. These are actually crocheted in the round, as you can see, but I want to block them with this because I am not scared of the bleeding of the yarn of Malabrigo to go into this, because this one is already a dark color. So you're not gonna notice any color transfer because of the color of the wool. I am running late. I have to go to the hairdresser's appointment. It's in a few minutes. So the items are still in the sink. So I will leave them there for a little bit longer. But once I come back home, I will continue filming for the pieces that are still soaking. And I'll show you how I lay them at home, especially because my apartment is really small. So it's gonna take a little bit of space, but it's gonna look good. And I cannot wait to show you how they're gonna look now. Anyways, in a moment. have to go and check the stuff that I left soaking for a while. So accompany me because I have to check how are they doing. Let's see, it's getting already dark, so I will have to light up the area over here. So now let's touch. Oh wow. Oh wow, wow. Okay, this is really good. Oh my god, the 6.5. Wow, the 6.5 will do. Yeah, no. I was planning to do this swatch in a 7mm, but now that I feel about it, it's actually, see how it has been expanded and how it feels just with the water. I am 100% sure I made a right call and went like, nope, I'm not gonna do that one. So I am slowly going to start putting the stuff in one area. Oh, hello. And I think that you will be able to see, and if not, I will have to show it to you in a moment. But I don't know if you can see in this direction how yellow the water actually looks. And this is the reason why I actually wanted to do a darker color when I was doing this with the hand-dyed yarn from Malavigo. I am going to fill in the sink just with normal regular tap water, and I am going to let them soak for about 5 minutes. It's not even 5 minutes, like maybe 2 minutes, but it's just for the soak, for the detergent or the soaking detergent that I use for this to actually completely go out with natural regular water. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Other thing that I forgot to mention is that let the water go somewhere that your items are not going to be having the heavy hit of this, because you don't want them to felt. That's the whole point of this thingy, it's for it not to felt, and to actually that at the end you will be able to see the stitches anyway. To sink into a nice level, and now I am going to slowly get my items back to where they are, and you are starting to see some of the detergent actually coming up, and that is completely normal because I want the fiber to get out from the yarn. It's not completely out. Again, if you see the movement that I'm doing is a very gentle movement. It's not, again, I'm not twisting in it. I am not doing anything against it. It's just basically sinking in it and just making sure that the detergent, this means that we can actually drain the water. Normally, again, what I like doing is to actually put all of the stuff in one side and then completely drain the water. One of the things that you can do actually before drying them in the towel, as I just did at the moment, you can squeeze a little bit the water from this gauge. And normally what I like doing is just folding it in half and then folding it in another half and then squeeze them in the sink. So that takes completely the excess off of it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this here as flat as possible as I can, because then I am going to make it kind of like a burrito over here, and then I squeeze it just like this. And you can continue, and then you can lay it wherever you want to lay it, either somewhere flat, or you can pin it down. Whatever you want to do is just make sure you don't handle it too much, because you don't want it to felt in other you don't want it to felt, you don't want it to actually like to take on any other shape nor anything. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab another towel and then lay it completely flat somewhere else. Now these ones are bigger pieces, as you can tell, because it's front and back. So what I am going to do is that I normally try to just squeeze them still here in the sink gently, but with enough squeeze that some water will actually come out. So now, as you can see, I have placed a towel on the floor and I have placed this the back of the sweater on top of the towel. Now what I do is the same process of just simply trying to squeeze the water out, making sure that I am not going to stretch anything from anywhere from this fabric. So just making sure that everything is carefully folded. And then the way that I squeeze this is I actually use my feet and I go on top of it and then quickly squeezing the water out from this. And that's it. And then I get off from it and I'll take this into the living room where I actually have another towel on the floor where I am going to block this piece properly. Okay, so now I bring this. And now I'm gonna unfold this over here. And gently lift this up from here. Hi, babies. Are you curious too what I'm doing? And then I actually gently just simply start extending in it. And then I check again, like around what area I want this. So I don't want this to, I'm checking right now how the towel is draped, if there are any creases under. So I'm gonna start extending. And here we go. Now, I want this part a little bit shorter. I want this part a little bit straighter. So it's just making clear already like how your garment is starting to look now. Again, gently I am doing this because I don't want to felt the fabric. I'm trying my best to do it in a way that it's not gonna felt. And this is the way that it looks over here. And I'm gonna repeat the same process that I have done here with the front part. So this is how the blocking process looks like. And yeah, we'll see how everything else is gonna look. Hi, piggies. No worries, they won't actually go on top of the project, so this is really good that the guinea pigs don't do that. So this is how I block my items, and it would be very interesting if you could let me know what process do you actually make to block your projects. Do you iron them with a wet towel on top? Or do you soak them up and then you put them on the flat surface? Do you use pins? Do you not use pins? Let me know in the comments below and tell me what do you do for blocking your projects? It will be very interesting to actually see how people block their projects, or if you don't block them, let me know what has been your awesome surprise that you have done, or your the awesome surprise that you have gotten for your projects when you have not blocked them. Let me know. I am able to sit down and talk with you personally on camera. And today I actually have been wanting to talk to you about my finished products. In the previous clips that you have seen in this video, I have already shown you some items that I have finished, how I blocked them, and now I am going to show you the projects that I have currently finished. So my first project of this week that is fresh off the hooks is, you remember the shawl that I did on my first episode, if you have already watched my Instagram? And it has been that I did this big malabrigo shawl, and in the green or apple green colorway. It was like this beautiful neon green that I was having. And then I decided to actually cast on another project, doing exactly the same but without tassels in it, because I had bought some yarn, I think like 2 years ago, and that it was in sale in Vollerödel, and I grabbed these 3 colors, and this is the shawl that I have created, and I am in love with it. This is 50% acrylic and 50% alpaca, and it drapes really nicely. It's actually a really warm-ish kind of shawl, and I really enjoy it. It's actually the only thing that the downside of this shawl is that it's a little bit itchy in your neck, but in everything else it's really warm and cozy. It's not, I think I would say it's a perfect shawl for kind of like a fresh, warmish spring day. You know, those spring days that are still a little bit cold when you go into the shadow, but not so cold when you go into the sun. So I would say that this shawl, it's actually a really nice shawl to actually go out with. I like it. I like to use it actually when I'm at home. Today the heater is actually on, so I have absolutely no need to actually wear it at the moment. But yeah, this shawl, it's fresh off the hooks. Again, it is a knitted shawl, and it's knitted back and forth in both areas. And yeah, this is one of my first projects that I have finished on this week. The second project that I have finished this week has been an attempt of crocheting a circular shirt. Well, I was trying to do a circular sweater, but it really did not work out for me. Please don't do this at home, or at least do it at home, but at least do it with yarn that you know that you're not gonna have so much pain to actually untangle it or anything like this. This was a project that I started a long time ago to actually draw, think about it a little bit, and a friend of mine went to Peru. And I told this friend of mine, hey, if you go to Peru, could you please buy me some alpaca wool? You don't have to buy me like a sweater quantity or anything, but just bring me like 3 or 4 balls or skeins of yarn of alpaca, and I would be like the happiest woman. I'll pay it to you. And this friend actually came around my birthday, and he gave me a sweater quantity of Indiecita DK, so it's 100% alpaca, and I was just like, whoa, bro, you didn't have to do this. So I decided to cast this on, and I love it. I am not gonna deny it. This is a very beautiful thing that I have done, but there was a mistake that I did, and the mistake that I did was that I did not check that the underarms were a little bit too loose, and now you can see that the alpaca fabric has actually stretched. So it's a very beautiful shirt that I have finished, and the sweater quantity that I actually got was only a shirt quantity, and this is how it looks. So it's very basic. This area is actually the star stitch in crochet, and then the rest is just basically single. I'm sorry, no, I did it with, yeah, I did it with half double crochet all the way. So from here to here, it's half double crochet, and then the rest is just the star stitch stitch that I use. So this is another project that I finished this week. I have learned so much from this project, and probably the next time that I am going to cast something like this, I am not going to cast it on a 100% alpaca wool, but I'm going to actually cast it maybe on an acrylic one or superwash yarn, and then check how is it going again. So this is the second project that I have worked on it. Now, on works in progress, you have seen already that I am blocking some items from the commission that I have done. And I think on the first episode, I don't remember if it was the first episode, that I showed you one of the flaps of the cardigan that I am doing. Now, because I am working in 2 commissions at the moment, I am not as quick as I want to be on the cardigan that I am actually creating at the moment. I'm hoping that this cardigan that I am going to do is going to be finished by the time that I am heading to Japan, which, seeing that we are already on the beginning of April, it probably might not happen. But I hope that I can finish this before my trip in Japan or when I am in Japan, because this is one of the, oops, sorry, this is like turned around. So this is one of the flaps that is here, and then I have finished the other flap that is coming on this way. So I'm hoping it's gonna be a cardigan. This is not a kimono nor anything like that. This is just going to be a really nice warm-ish cardigan. I am expecting that when I'm going through Japan, because we're still gonna go in spring, so this is like the whole month of May. I'm expecting that it's gonna get a little bit cold, or that it's gonna be a little bit rainy, or that it might be actually that the temperatures might actually drop. So that's why I am actually doing this warmish cardigan to take with me when we are heading to Japan. So I already have casted on, not casted on, but I have already chained the back part, but it's still very small, so it will have to wait for a little bit. Now, recent purchases. As I said, I am doing a commission for this friend, and today in the morning, her wool arrived. Oh yes. Again, this is a Malabrigo worsted, the ones that I'm working with. She actually ordered it in the color Pink Frost. So the number 17, I don't know if you can see it over here. So it's on Pink Frost, and oh my god, it's gorgeous. The color, I don't know if the camera is actually gonna make justice to it, but the color is so beautiful. Let me see if it can actually focus the camera on it. Anyways, I cannot wait to start working on this one, and I'm hoping that I have so many projects that I have to do that everything requires a little bit of my attention. So yeah, so I'm hoping that at least I can be able to cast this on before I go to Japan, and if not, then it's going to be a project that I'm going to be taking with me to Japan. So this will travel to Japan, or part of it is going to travel to Japan and it's gonna be used when I am over there and sitting down. I don't know, I just imagine myself like having this beautiful yarn, making this project for this friend, and then just like sitting down, I don't know, maybe in a bench in front of some cherry trees or something like that in a park, and just crochet or knit, crochet and knit, and just enjoy beauty, just seeing the beauty of a park, and then just crochet something while eating mochis, because you know I am a fan of mochis. So yeah, this is the wool that she has purchased. I cannot wait to get my hands on already her measurements, and I cannot wait to crochet her project. And I ordered 11 of this, so like, so here is one bag, and here is the other bag. So much wool, but that's how life. So now on spinning. Now, I have not been a good girl since I actually bought my spinning wheel. After my spinning class, I started spinning a little bit again, and I decided that I was going to continue practicing spinning. I have not followed my promise on continuing to spin, and then I decided that I wanted to do these commissions and these other projects and another course in crochet that I took online from Marta Blue. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what? Like, not a problem. I am going to spin again. So now I have found the fiber that my boyfriend actually bought to me for me to actually spin with my spinning wheel. And he knows that I'm a sucker for Malabrigo. He 100% knows that Malabrigo is my favorite. Like, there's two brands that I am a sucker for. And you do not have to buy these brands if you don't want to, of course, or if it's too expensive for you. This is not being me elitist or anything like that, but I am a sucker for these two brands. Is Manos del Uruguay and Malabrigo. And wow, like Manos is like so gorgeous yarn. My favorite is actually the one with silk and wool. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that because my boyfriend knows that I am a sucker for Malabrigo, when I bought my spinning yarn, my spinning wheel, he bought me not one, not two, but 5 fibers of Malabrigo Nube. Oh my god. The color is so beautiful when you touch the fiber. I have my little bits of concerns. So, I'll be real with you. I'm a sucker for Malabrigo. I said it. I love how soft the yarn feels when you actually touch it, how buttery it feels, etc., etc. But I am not so impressed with their fiber. I have already undone a chain of them, and it looks, well, kind of felted. Now, I am not an expert spinner. I am a wannabe spinner at the moment. I took a course for a few weeks, and I did not get any information of what can you do when your wool looks like this. So I have been researching in the internet, and my good friend Grace has told me that I could use kind of like a carder or something that will actually be, that I would be able to actually, you know, get it to a working state. Because, oh my god, it's like, I love Malabrigo, and the fiber is very soft. It's just like, it really looks a little bit felted, and I am a little bit disappointed with that. But I am a beginner spinner, and I think I am being a little bit too harsh on Malabrigo on this sense. So I have tried over here, I tried to spin a little bit by hand. So like I just twisted it with my own hands, and that's basically what I did with it. Yeah, so these are another Fiverr purchases that my boyfriend did for me. And now I will have to purchase myself a carder, which is funny because I'm like, oh my god, my pocket, it's already burning. It's already burning. It's so much stuff that I have bought already. I wanted to talk to you about the swatches that you actually saw me doing while blocking, actually, when I was blocking the sweater of my friend. Now, the wool that I actually got was actually 3 skeins. One skein I have already used it for the swatches that I have created. And the wool that I have used is from Knit Two Together from All You Knit Is Love. And this is a wool that says that it's 70% wool and 30% milk. It is 105 meters, which is 115 yards per 100 grams. It needs a 6 to 8 millimeter needles, and I love it. I actually, like I said, this one actually came, this actually came on the Lana box of February. And the reason why I actually want to I have ordered more of this wool, it's because this is the pattern that came with the Lana box on February. And it's the Petruar pattern from Lucia Luis de Aguirre, which she actually has a really nice book that is called Wrap and Turn. And I would recommend you purchasing it because it's actually really, really beautiful. So this pattern actually came with the Lana box. Now, I have said before, I have knitted on and off. I'm not an intermediate knitter. I am actually a beginner knitter. But the reason why I buy the Lana box is because it comes with 2 to 3 skeins of yarn a month. It really depends on the pattern. And then it comes with a little bit more stuff in it. And this wool was the one that came in February. And I saw this pattern and I was like, you know what, this is a very beautiful pattern. I have not actually even downloaded the pattern itself. And I'm like, I would really like to make something like this, but for myself. But instead of knitted, I want actually to have it crocheted. And that's the reason why I have created these swatches. Now, this is with a 7 millimeter, and I think that the 7 millimeter would be a little bit too fluffy, and I would like to have something less fluffier than this. And when I was looking at after the blocking process, especially when the wool actually got wet, it actually felt it like butter. And when I actually like touched it just with water, and now I'm waiting for it to actually dry and to see how the wool is going to be after it has dried. But I have ordered more of this wool and I 100% recommend it to you. It's actually a very interesting wool. Again, it's dyed with milk. And so this is a Spanish company. So again, if you are in the European Union, of course, buy it. You are in Schengen. That means that there's no customs that you will have to pay for ordering something from another European country that it's in Schengen. So I am so happy because I am designing not the same shape of this cowl, but I am designing something that has almost the same shape and no cabling. It's just basically using this stitch. And I cannot wait to see, to show you a little bit of how I design something, how I actually, what is the thought process that goes into me when I actually design something like this. And I'm hoping that I am going to be able and capable of filming this to actually show you what is the process that I take. Again, I have not released any of my patterns. All of my patterns are still mine. I do not show them. I only have shown the math behind it. And I'm just hopeful that at some point I'm going to be able to show you the amount of work that goes when I am doing this stuff. At some point, I would really like to get myself better at writing my ideas and finally like putting the patterns in written and then put them in Ravelry. Now, basically, that is it. That is all the stuff that I have to show you for this week. I know that it is a lot, and I am hoping to by the end of this month to show you a little bit more, or at least some progress of the stuff that I have been working on. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what are my intentions of actually coming here into YouTube and everything. So, as you've seen, my first 3 podcasts were actually just for Instagram TV, but the more and more I posted in Instagram TV, they actually put a limit because I am not a bigger creator nor anything like that, and it's fine by me, that's not a problem. But I only have a 10-minute mark that I can hit, and at the same time, I have to stay myself under 650 megabytes of upload, like how the file has to be so big. So I'm not allowed to actually have such a big file when I upload something in Instagram. And I had to make the compromise. Either I show you something with crappy quality in Instagram, or should I do something with a better quality that you can see the colors much better and that you can enjoy a little bit more how the environment looks with a better quality. And I don't want to compromise the quality of the view of the video just to only be in Instagram. So I decided that's why to actually have to move the podcast from Instagram to YouTube in Mochi Mochi Yarns podcast. So anyways, that's the reason why I moved the podcast to YouTube now, because then I can make this longer podcast with a better quality and I don't have to compromise the things the video nor the quality of the video to give you something for 10 minutes. Now, there's other things that I am planning. So you guys know that I'm gonna go to Japan on the month of May. So for the month of May, I still don't know. I might actually film some things, but I am gonna go for vacation for the whole month. This is a luxury that me and my boyfriend have been planning for a long time. And I do want to enjoy this vacation with my boyfriend. We have planned this for so many years. We have been together for so many years, and we finally want to just simply travel and take some time together for a longer amount of time. So I still don't know. I'm of course gonna film, but I still don't know if I am gonna post something for the month of May, or if I am sporadically just going to put some raw footage either in YouTube or in Instagram. But my plans are that by the beginning and the end of the month, I am going to make a longer video podcast. And for the middle of the months, I am going to put some tutorials. So it's going to be either a cooking tutorial, it might be a crochet tutorial, or something that I learned new to show you that probably you did not know. And then these ones are going to be shorter videos. So my plan is on the beginning and on the end of the month, you're going to have a longer version of the podcast. But in the middle of the month, you're going to have mini videos of really basic stuff that I have learned. We're going to talk about what type of crochet hooks do you have, all of this stuff, like basic stuff to advanced stuff to intermediate stuff. I'm going to talk to you about fibers. I'm going to talk to you about spinning, about the new things that I have learned about spinning and fiber, about dyeing. All of these things are coming in the next few months of this year. And I'm hoping, and I'm really, really hoping that slowly but surely I am going to be able to put all the things that I know from all the fiber things that I have done here in YouTube. Now, I can do this by myself. I do work, I do have a job at the same time. But if you do want to help me to continue this, I have a coffee page and I am going to link it below so you can actually support me. You, of course, if you want to support me, you can do so. It will be 100% welcome. And if you can't at the moment, that is still okay. As long as you watch my videos and you enjoy them, I am super, super happy. Anyways, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me this week. I really hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week for yourself and always be positive. And thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me in the Mochi podcast. Bye!